Hello everyone, Ron here from L.T.L Tutoring Central, and this week I'm talking about jumping into online tutoring because it works. Now, you might never have thought of getting online tutoring for yourself or for your child before, or you might have toyed around with the idea but never took the plunge, or maybe you tried it a while ago, didn't think it would really work for you, or you didn't really like it. But I'm here to motivate you, encourage you to jump back into online tutoring or to try it for the first time because it really does work. The technology keeps getting better. There are so many things we can do online now that we couldn't do before, that you can get a tutor from anywhere on almost any subject to help you improve your learning or to help your child improve at school. So I want you to give it a try. Now, how will you go about this? Well, the first thing, and it might seem obvious, is you have to find a tutor. You have to find someone that can help. Now, of course, you can search online. There are lots of tools to look for tutors in your local area or well beyond. It can be from another country even, to tutor you in the subject that you desire. So do a search and do a little research on the tutor if you can. See if he or she has a website or videos or a blog that you can read. The more information you can get, the better. You'll get a feel for how that tutor approaches the learning process and how that tutor or teacher looks at that particular subject. And that can help you just to get started. So you might have a number of tutors, you look at them and you sort of weed it down to a couple that maybe you want to meet online. That's the next step. Get in touch with those, maybe just one that you like already, or maybe a couple that you would like to sort of interview or have a chat. Get in touch with them and see if they'll set up an online meeting. Obviously, if they won't, that's probably not the tutor for you, since you want to learn online, they need to be able to set up a meeting online. But you should have a meeting online so that you can chat and also maybe play around with the technology that that particular tutor uses to see how he or she teaches. It's not going to be a lesson, it's going to be more of a meet and greet. I call them information meetings. It's to make sure that you're both on the same page and also to check out the personality. Do you think that you're going to get along with this tutor? Do you think that your child is going to work well with this tutor? It just gives you even more of a feel for how that tutor operates and how that tutor thinks. So that is very important. Get in touch, have an online meeting. Try to be patient because you want the tutor to set up a time that obviously works with you, but also works with him or her so that there's enough time to have a relaxed meeting. You don't want to be rushed, or you don't want to forget questions that you might have come up with. And you don't want the tutor to feel that way either. You want it to be a nice, relaxed, comfortable meeting. So that means you might need to wait until you can both get your schedules together. Ask questions at the meeting. So it's good if you set up a meeting in the next day or a couple of days at least. It might be longer, so that you have time to jot down some questions that you want to ask the tutor and have them answer. And also he or she can sort of establish when you get in touch, you can say, I'm looking for a tutor for my son in math, or my daughter in reading, or myself in reviewing fractions, or whatever that the topic is or the student is. So the tutor can formulate some of the questions he or she might have, and also the comments, or know what to show you or which platform he or she might want to show you how to use. So that's a good idea. If you're feeling really, don't forget to ask certain questions. So you definitely need to know price, the cost. You need to know how many lessons the tutor would like you to register for. Some tutors provide a free first lesson. I don't. I do a free information meeting. But if we're going to do lessons, I want to get started. So I think you need to commit to a certain number of lessons. I think if you only commit to one, that's not enough. You should be able to get a feel for the tutor during the information meeting, and then if you want to move forward with lessons, I think you need a reasonable number, at least 5 to 10 lessons. I do monthly, so if we're meeting once a month, that would be 4 lessons. If we're meeting twice, which is what I normally recommend, it would be 8 lessons per month. So that gives you a block that you can actually work with. But make sure you ask about that. Make sure you ask about times. Can you get your times together, particularly if the tutor is in another country or another time zone within the same country. We have a lot of time zones in Canada, of course. So you want to make sure that it's even plausible that you can even set this up. You want to know a little bit about the approach, a little bit. Now, it might not be completely known ahead of time, because once you start working with a student, that can change a little bit. Because your tutor should always be willing and flexible to work with you or with your child, depending on who's being taught, and should be able to adjust the teaching method to that particular student. So you want the tutor to know the content information, obviously, if you're teaching reading or math, but you really need a tutor that can go well beyond that and is able to understand the educational process and understand how different learners learn, and is able to adjust the program to match that particular student. So look for that when you're doing the initial information meeting or the initial interview as well. When you have your first lesson, once you've registered for the lessons, if you're feeling comfortable, register for some lessons, give it a fair try. Show up for the first lesson on time. Hopefully you and the tutor can get your times coordinated. But it's very important that you both respect one another's time, because tutors are very busy, and I'm sure you're busy too. So you need to have that established so that you can make sure that you show up for lessons on time. But enjoy that first lesson. Try to relax a little bit. Sometimes people get too tense and too uptight. If you're tense and uptight, that will make the tutor a little bit more uptight. Then it doesn't work. If you're relaxed, the tutor will be more relaxed, and everything will go a lot better. There will probably be a few glitches. There might be some technology that you don't understand or that the tutor's having trouble with. It's not perfect. It's much, much better than it ever was. You can see each other. You can talk to each other. You can write on whiteboards. The student can write on it. The teacher or tutor can write on it. You can share documents live. You can share videos live. You can share your screen live. There are so many things you can do online, but it's not perfect. There are some little glitches. Sometimes the technology fails. Sometimes things don't work perfectly. But the point is that you both stay calm, you both deal with the little glitches in the best way you can, and it always seems to work out if you do it that way. If everyone gets stressed, it doesn't work out. It's just like that in anything, isn't it? So give that first lesson a try. Be calm and relaxed, and you should learn something in that first lesson. You should feel comfortable that we are moving forward. Now, it's not going to be everything. Don't expect everything in the first lesson. That's why you need to sign up for a series of lessons or a block of lessons, because not everything happens in one lesson or one go. And sometimes it takes a couple of lessons to adjust the program to meet your needs more precisely. Commit to the program. Don't just give up right away. Even if you're thinking, I don't know if my child really needs to go back that far. I don't know if these little steps are going to help. Give it a fair trial. Many times students and sometimes parents don't always understand that it's those little steps, it's that legwork that gets you to the final product or the final goal. It isn't always fancy. It isn't always immediate. When you're learning to play the piano, you want to play Mozart, you don't start by playing Mozart, at least not normally. You need to learn a lot of the scales, a lot of things, excuse me, and do a lot of drills and practice before you get to that professional capacity. Same with a sport. You don't automatically become a famous soccer player or a hockey player or a football player whatever the sport is. You need to practice. You need to do a lot of drills. It takes time. You need those little steps before you can get to the big steps. So give it a chance. Obviously, if after a month or a couple of months it really isn't working for you, then it's time for a change and you need to start the process over. But I wouldn't say give up on online tutoring, because there are so many excellent tutors out there that can help you with reading, with writing, with math, with science, with history, with pretty much any topic. You can find a tutor that is able to help you. And I often say an educational coach, because it goes beyond just the content into motivating, encouraging, and helping the student reach his or her goals. And that's so important. When a student realizes that he or she can do it, it makes all the difference in the world. The content information is available online everywhere these days. That's not so difficult to find. But someone who can coach you, who can help you, who can encourage and motivate you, that makes a huge difference in a student's academic career, whether that's an adult student or a young student. So I hope you will give online tutoring a try, or give it a try again. I do online tutoring. I teach reading and writing and mathematics up to grade 9, including grade 9. And if you want to get in touch with me, please do. I will leave my website address below, and also a link to the blog that will help you. It has basically the information I'm talking about here, but it's in print, and there may be some things there that I haven't mentioned in the video. Get in touch, ask questions, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you want. Check out the website. You can email me at any time, ask some questions, or you can put it below the video if you're watching this on YouTube. I love to hear from people, and I love to talk about education. Have a great week. I will see you again next week. It's Ron from L.T.L Tutoring, signing off for now. Bye-bye.